Welcome to COS Now, the show that gets you caught up with everything Convention of States in 5 minutes or less. My name is Andrew Luce, and I'm going to be your host. Let's get into it. Convention of States spokesmen are hitting the road and getting our grassroots fired up to talk to legislators as we work to call the first ever Article 5 Convention of States. Rick Santorum spoke to a group in Iowa, while Michael Farris and Rita Peters appeared at the Capitol in Boise, Idaho. Next up, the Battleborn Freedom Conference was held in Las Vegas last week, featuring several endorsers of Convention of States, including Patriot Academy's Rick Green and Nevada Lieutenant Governor Stavros Anthony. Wall Builders President and COS endorser Tim Barton had to say this.
Government exists to secure our God-given rights. Their idea was not about how many people work for the federal government, only the jurisdiction of what the federal government can do. But that's why Convention of States was there with checks and balances, because Article 5 is the amendment process. And they said if Congress will not introduce amendments, there needs to be a resolution for individuals to protect their rights from the abuse of the tyranny.
We are actively working on making sure that Nevada is a part of that, but legislative sessions where we get to vote on that, on entering Nevada as a part of that convention, that's going to take your guys' activism and being a part of that to make that happen.
I can't believe it, but we are already halfway through January and things are really heating up across the nation. 11 states have introduced Convention of States Action's resolution in 2026, or it carried over from last year. Signified by the blue states on this map, the two states in yellow, Kansas and North Carolina, are in a 2-year session, meaning that last year's Senate win in Kansas and the House victory in North Carolina are carried over. We're halfway home in those two states, needing final action from the Kansas House and the North Carolina Senate. The 19 states in green have already adopted our Article 5 application, so we're over halfway to that magical number of 34 states as set forth in the Constitution. Visit conventionofstates.com/progress for the latest. On Monday, the Delaware Senate actually brought up Convention of States for debate in an introductory reading. Here's Senator Richardson.
This excludes Congress from the decision, it excludes the president from the decision. This is what gives us the power back to the states to decide what kind of federal government we want, what kind of overreach we're going to allow the federal government to continue to have. You know, we are on a road for a fiscal disaster.
So the vote in Delaware was 777, and not the lucky 777 that you get when you go to a slot machine. So unfortunately, Delaware didn't get to move on. But here is the thing I want you to see. We are just 4 votes shy from moving to the next phase in Delaware. That's huge progress. The Delaware team should be proud of the work that they are doing, and they just need to keep pounding the pavement, getting more people involved, and talking more to legislators to get it across the finish line. Delaware can do it. In addition to local news coverage in Delaware and Idaho, journalist filmmaker Mel Kay mentioned Convention of States in a recent broadcast. Check it out.
First of all, I do believe that it is time for a convention of states in the United States of America. We are in over our heads when it comes to international alliances, allegiance treaties, and most of them are centered around allowing the international banking cartel, their military-industrial complex, NATO war-for-profit model that has been used after World War I, World War II.
My friend and colleague Jake Fay has put together a must-see trailer of his 30-minute investigative short film. Check it out.
The fact is, both parties have laid a trap for future generations.
There's no way to solve the debt crisis.
We've all heard of the national debts. Politicians talk about it all the time. But I wanted to know, where does it come from? I'm diving in deep. We're going back to the early days of the Republic, from Andrew Jackson to John Maynard Keynes, FDR to Ronald Reagan. The alarm bells have reached a fever pitch. Every day, we inch closer to collapse. Someone is robbing your kids, and you deserve to know something about it.
You can catch the full premiere on January 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time across all Convention of States socials. I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see the full program. Finally, check out some of these photos showing grassroots muscle across the nation, including Arkansas, Georgia, Connecticut, and Oklahoma. All right, now you're up to date with everything Convention of States. I can't say anything right now, but trust me, big things are right around the corner. Make sure that you are subscribed so that you don't miss a thing, and we'll see you next week, same time, same place for COS Now.